Hi, I'm Jason Driscoll from the United States.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuan Shu. I come from清华University and my major is English.
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Yinan and I'm also an English major student from THU.
For our Skills Power Station, we'll be talking about making predictions. Making predictions is an essential skill that you can use when listening that will help you understand what the speaker is saying better. This might not be natural for you as you probably are concentrating mostly on your English rather than what the content is of the speaker. But if you try this deliberately, intentionally, you can focus on what the speaker is saying and comparing this information with the things that you already know. In this way, you'll start making predictions when you're listening.
Jason, I have a question for you. According to your statement, we can only make predictions when we are carefully listening. For example, if I'm tired or the subject is a little boring for me, then I just can't focus myself. How should I continue predicting?
If you have trouble focusing, I think it's even more important that you try to make predictions while you're listening. Sometimes a thing that might help is if you are taking some notes and you can write down some key words that you expect you are about to hear in the next thing that the speaker is going to say.
And I also have a question, and I think as you mentioned before that making prediction is kind of like a natural thing. And I also think that like making inference is also a natural thing when you're hearing people talking about something. So are there any connections between these two things?
I think in this case they're essentially the same. How you make predictions while you're listening and how you infer information that you think that you're about to hear, it's basically the same thing. Both of them are using logic to create an expectation of what sort of information you're about to be given and comparing that with the information that the speaker actually gives you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I have another question. Then, as we talk about making prediction, then how should we make predictions?
Some tips or strategies for making predictions.
Yes.
You can read the title or the headline of the material that the speaker is giving you. If there is a PPT or if there is a book that the speaker is using for this material, make sure that you're familiar with the title or the headline, and each category that the speaker gives you as well might have some information that comes in a title. Another strategy might be to study other given information, such as words or pictures or charts and graphs that the speaker might be using as they are giving the lecture. Sometimes they will have visual materials that are important to pay attention to, and how you interpret, or as you say, infer some of that information visually should lead you to the logic that the speaker is going to use in the next statement that they make. Another strategy is to make informed guesses with the background information that you already have. Most of the time when you attend a lecture in a classroom, you've already read some materials or you've already talked with some classmates about that topic, and you'll know probably what the logical statements are going to be based on what you already know or what you've already experienced. And finally, while you're listening to the text, either confirm or revise your predictions as you use the word inference. As you make inferences or as you make predictions, see how this compares with the information that you hear so that you have something to change or maybe alter your expectations for the next thing that the speaker might say too. So as you make predictions, this information is going to constantly change as the speaker continues to speak and as you continue to listen.
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about making contributions to a discussion, specifically seminars. What is a seminar? A seminar is like a class that is taking place in a shorter amount of time. Generally, seminars are available for people for personal training or specialized instruction in a particular field of study. Seminars can take place in college environments, but they can also take place in professional environments, generally in a day when a bunch of people come together and hear someone speak or give some training about a specific topic.
Yeah, I have a little question. Like comparing to our traditional classes, what are the merits of a seminar?
Seminars take place in shorter amounts of time. So that's a merit for sure. But seminars generally don't come with any sort of accreditation or examinations or certification. So a seminar might offer knowledge, but it doesn't give anyone a degree or diploma or credit towards that. So there's no way to gauge how well you learn from a seminar. It's mostly just for your own personal benefit.
Right, thank you.
Well, I have another question. As far as I know, there's no this kind of seminar in senior high school. So what should the senior high school students do to practice their listening or speaking abilities?
A seminar, because it's very flexible and it's not like a required class for school, a seminar might be something that some students want to organize on their own. If a bunch of students have a topic that they're interested in personally, they might be able to find a guest speaker to come and give a seminar for them. In this way, they can practice their listening skills and receive some sort of instruction that is in addition to the classes that they have for school. Now, this might sound boring, adding another class to your schedule, but one of the benefits of seminars is they're generally something that you're personally interested in anyway, so it's something that you want to attend and find out more information about. It's something that you're not forced to find out more information about. Seminars are also sometimes available to the public for free. Sometimes there might be a fee in order to attend, but high school students, if they hear about a seminar that is available in English, is a perfect chance to practice their listening skills and also be able to interact with the speaker, because it's an opportunity to ask questions and talk with other people that are attending the seminar to measure how much they've learned in comparison with other people that are there.
Okay. Very informative.
Very informative, yes.
Right.
Now we're going to talk about academic writing. When you're writing a paper for school, you'll use a different kind of voice than you use when you're speaking in a casual conversation. Academic writing follows certain conventions that are more formal, and sometimes this is difficult to do without practice.
Oh, Jason, I have a question on vocabulary. You know that we are supposed to use academic words when we are writing, but how do we identify what kind of words are academic words?
Academic words are difficult sometimes to know if it's academic or if it's casual. It's usually easier to figure out if words are appropriate for your paper if you've already seen them in examples from other papers that you've read that are also written academically. Usually the sources that you use for research are going to give you examples of words that might be specific to certain topics or certain subjects, and these are the words that you're going to want to incorporate into your paper as well. Likewise, it's important to avoid using words that are not academic, and sometimes those might be more difficult to identify. Colloquial expressions, contractions, slang terms, these are all sorts of things that will not fit in an academic paper. They won't be so formal.
And as for me, the grammar had always been a very troublesome issue. So how can I avoid making those trivial grammar mistakes when I'm doing the argumentative writing?
Grammar is also so important for academic writing. The stronger your grammar, the stronger your idea is going to be when you're writing it in your paper. I also recommend that students look for examples when they are reading and doing research about the ideas that they're going to present in their paper. I think that it's important to try and internalize the voice that they find in their research so that they can use that when they're writing their own paper.
Thank you.
But I think that many students find grammar that's a little bit boring. So what can we do about that?
The only way to improve your grammar is to practice, and it might be boring to practice. But one thing that helps native English-speaking students when they are writing papers in school is to trade their paper and turn editing into a competition so that you can apply your experience with grammar and help your classmate out by correcting some of his or her grammar mistakes. And they can do the same for your paper. I'm not saying that this is going to be fun, but it is sometimes refreshing because you're looking at someone else's errors and you're learning from their mistakes. And you can do this a little bit easier sometimes by correcting other people's mistakes instead of your own.
Okay, thank you.